The term word Junipyo is a colloquial term in Japanese which is used to describe someone who likes to have delusions. They have a firmly held belief, but in reality, everything is just an illusion they create themselves. For example, the Junipyo sufferer thinks he has a special power that no one else has. Initially, Junipyo was used on children in middle school who like to act like adults, which later developed into a general term used to describe general delusional behavior. The same thing happens in the world of anime. These Junipyo characters often have delusions that they have extraordinary supernatural powers. Welcome back to this channel. Today, I'll give you the list of Junipyo characters in the anime world. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe this channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest video. So, let's get started. Number 10. Okabe Rintaro. From the anime Steins Gate. Okabe has the features of a thin teenager and short black hair. Known as a self-published scientist in the anime series Steins Gate, Okabe is a melodramatic and eccentric individual. Like most of his Junipyo characters, Okabe is a person who is not good at socializing. However, he will not hesitate when helping people he has never met. You could say that Okabe is a smart character, but he is easily fooled. Every now and then, Okabe likes to pretend as an agent working against a certain organization, which he thinks the organization always looking for him, because he believes this kind of image gives him a cool and mysterious aura. Although this seems to disappear as the story progresses, with the possibility of SERN replacing the evil image of organization. Usually, he gives off the appearance of delusions and paranoia, exhibits eccentric behavior, such as talking to himself on the phone and laughing out loud. Number 9. Himeka Akishino. From the anime Oresura. Himeka is known as one of the main female characters in the anime series Oresura. She was the ex-girlfriend of Eita Keido from past life who has one-sided love of Eita. Just like Eita, Himeka is a girl with delusions about herself and Eita as a couple. Himeka is a white girl. She has straight black hair that extends to her waist with square bangs, and some of them are on the side of her head. Himeka is a really quiet, shy, and somewhat childish girl who has delusions about herself and Eita Keido that she is a partner of Eita in past life who calls herself Burning Princess Saint Dragon Lady of Dawn. As a person with Junipyo, Himeka is a girl with a normal background. Her family runs an inn, and she often helps out there in the summer. Because of her shy nature, Himeka had no friends. When she was in middle school, she hoped to meet the new world when she was about to enroll in the middle school. But once she entered middle school, Himeka realized that nothing had changed until she met Eita Keido. At that time, Himeka had an impression of him, which she described as a bright, shining, colorful light, and attached to him ever since. Number 8. Yoshiko Tsushima. From the anime Love Live. Yoshiko, also known as Yohane, is one of the 9 main characters in the Love Live anime series, Sunshine. She's a student from Uranohoshi Girls High School. Yoshiko liked the little devil look and described herself as Yohane, fallen angel. She had developed this persona since she was in kindergarten, and even as she entered middle school, Yoshiko continued to develop this persona. As a Junipyo, Yoshika has delusions as a personality that she describes as Yohane. Apparently, a side effect of being a fallen angel, is that she feels cursed with very bad luck, experiencing all kinds of unexpected troubles wherever she goes. Starting from raining every time she went traveling, falling every time it snowed, winning nothing from the lack of drawing at the convenience store, getting sick right before the test, and so on. Because of that, Yoshiko often blames herself for Aqua's misfortune. Through her delusional persona, Yoshiko acts dramatically, and she's a little cunning, and often uses dark and evil accessories or clothing to further accentuate her fallen angel as Yohane. When acting like Yohane, Yoshiko's voice will have a significantly lower pitch. Number 7. Yoshiteru Zeimokuza. From the anime Oregairu. Yoshiteru Zeimokuza is a Class 2C student at Sobusobu High School who suffers from Chunibyo syndrome. Zeimokuza has an unusual appearance. He has gray or white hair in a short ponytail and always wears the signature glasses. What stands out the most is when he wears a coat over his school uniform, along with black gloves, even during the summer, and because of that, causes him to sweat almost all the time, even during winter. Yoshiteru is considered strange, rude, and creepy by most of the students of Sobu High School, even more than Hachiman Hikigaya. He's a very eccentric character, very passionate about things he likes, especially those related to Chunibyo, and shows a keen interest in shogunate history, magic, and writing, despite the fact that he is a bad writer, and video game making. He also often speaks like a film narrator. Number 6. Jurai Ando. From the anime, when supernatural battles become commonplace. Jurai is the main protagonist in the anime series entitled When Supernatural Battles Become Commonplace. He is a Chunibyo and is a member of the literature club at Senko Private High School. He often calls his abilities dark and dark, which allows him to manipulate the dark flames from his right hand, even if it's useless. Even though at first it was just delusional, he actually got that power. Jurai is known as an eccentric man with black hair and turquoise eyes. Despite suffering from Chunibyo syndrome, Jurai was a fairly good student in academics and didn't get bad grades in the school. Number 5. Tanaka Gundam. From the anime Danganronpa. Tanaka is a student at Hope's Peak Academy, Class 77B, and as one of the participants of the Killing School trip featured in Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair, with the nickname Ultimate Breeder, which later he returned to appear in the Danganronpa 3 series with Class 77B reaching the end of the tragedy. Gundam has an eccentric and somewhat dark personality, delusions of his own greatness, most likely stemming from the inferiority complex and the Chunibyo syndrome. Tanaka claims that he is endowed with evil powers from the underworld, the result of angel and a devil joining together. Gundam calls other people pathetic human beings and states that even gods are afraid of their abilities. Tanaka often raved about his status as the supreme overlord of ice and his interest in dark arts, alchemy, and the astral level. It is implied that even though Tanaka seems arrogant and avoids spending time with ordinary humans, in fact, he may actually feel lonely. Number 4. Shun Kaito. From the anime The Disastrous Life of Saikiki. Shun is one of the main characters in this series. His classmates classified Shun as a Chunibyo by introducing himself as the Jet Black Wings. Shun himself thinks that the world and all the events in the world are being watched and controlled by an evil organization called the Dark Reunion. As an outcast and considered useless, Shun is often a coward in dangerous situations, despite his delusions as the Jet Black Wings. Shun is a man who likes to wear bandage on his hands, which are considered as a seal of strength hidden from within him. Shun had delusional thoughts and wild imaginations. He often tries to be cool and strong in front of Kusuo, but ends up embarrassing himself more often. Number 3. Aereo Towa. From the anime, Ground Control to Psycho-Electric Girl. It all started when Aereo came home from school and mysteriously disappeared for 6 months, which was then found floating in the sea without any memory of what had happened so far. Then, this incident made her very interested in something related to aliens. Aereo believes that she is an alien investigator who is monitoring humans. Then, that was followed by when she tried to fly on her bicycle but broke her leg and began to continuously wrap herself in the bed. Number 2. Megumin. From the anime, Konosuba, God's blessing on this wonderful world. A lowly Chunibyo who is an explosion freak is Megumin. In the Konosuba series, she is an art wizard from the Crimson Demon Clan, and also, she is the first who joined Kazuma's party. Megumin is a young girl with shoulder-length dark brown hair and wears classic witch clothes such as black robe with a gold fringe, a necklace, a witch hat, fingerless gloves, and a black staff. Although she jokingly claimed that her eye patch sealed her extraordinary powers, Megumin did see her as a sense of fashion because of her Chunibyo tendencies. Megumin is a loud, boisterous, and eccentric girl who is a member of the Crimson Demon Clan. Besides having a Chunibyo tendency, Megumin also really likes strange names. It was clear when she named the sword from Kazuma with the name Chunchun Maru Sword. Number 1. Takanashi Rika. From the anime, Love, Chunibyo, and Other Delusions. It is clear that almost all the characters in this anime are Chunibyo, including Takanashi Rika. Takanashi is the main female character in this anime series, and she is the founder and leader of a club she created called the Estar Magic Napping Society of Summer. Takanashi is a classic case of Chunibyo, who constantly lives up to her fantasies and exhibits strange behavior as a result. She is dramatic and theatrical, claiming to have a tyrant's eye, which allows her to reveal destiny, even wearing an eye patch to seal its power. Don't forget the main weapon called the Square's Shield Prototype Mark II, which in a sense is an ordinary umbrella. Well, it is the list of Chunibyo characters in the anime world. Is there any favorite character anime that you have watched on the list? If there is, please write your thought on the comment below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you like this video. Thank you so much for watching, and see you guys on the next video. Bye!